Have you ever walked into your own home and somehow felt more tired than when you arrived? You close the door, drop your bag, look around, and instead of peace, something feels heavy. The room may be clean, nothing looks obviously wrong, yet your mind still feels crowded. That quiet exhaustion isn't random. In many cases, it's the invisible effect of how our spaces are arranged, filled, and used every single day. Most people think stress comes from work, deadlines, or social pressure, but there's another powerful influence we rarely notice: our environment. The spaces we live in silently shape our mood, energy, and even our ability to relax. A cluttered or poorly designed room constantly sends signals to the brain, signals that say, there's work to do, things to fix, things to organize. Over time, those signals accumulate. Your brain keeps scanning objects, unfinished tasks, random items on surfaces. It's like having dozens of tiny notifications appearing around you all day long, and the result is subtle but powerful. Your home becomes another source of mental noise, instead of a place where your mind can finally slow down. But here's the encouraging part. Transforming your home into a peaceful refuge doesn't require expensive furniture, a full renovation, or hours of organizing every weekend. In fact, the biggest changes often come from a few simple principles, ideas that shift the way you see and use your space. In this video, we're going to explore a set of powerful principles that designers, psychologists, and even ancient traditions have quietly used for centuries. And the first one is surprisingly simple. Yet once you understand it, you'll never look at any room in your house the same way again. Before you move furniture, buy storage boxes, or start throwing things away, there's a question you must answer first. It's a question most people completely skip. What exactly is this room for? It sounds obvious, but many homes lose clarity over time. The bedroom becomes an office, a storage area, and a laundry folding station. The dining table becomes a workspace covered in laptops, mail, and chargers. Slowly, each room begins trying to do everything at once. And when a space has too many purposes, your brain never fully relaxes inside it. A bedroom should communicate rest, reflection, and calm. A kitchen should encourage nourishment and connection. A living room should invite conversation, comfort, or creativity. Once the purpose becomes clear, something interesting happens. Your mind instantly starts sorting objects into two groups: things that support the purpose and things that interrupt it. Imagine walking into your bedroom and seeing piles of documents, unopened mail, or work files sitting next to the bed. Even if you try to ignore them, your brain notices. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. Our minds remember unfinished tasks far more strongly than completed ones. So every time you see those papers, your brain whispers, "You still need to deal with that." And suddenly, the room meant for rest becomes another reminder of responsibility. But defining purpose is only the first step. Once you begin filtering objects this way, you'll notice something surprising. The real problem isn't just where things are placed, it's how many things exist in the first place. Modern homes are full. Not necessarily messy, just full. Shelves filled with decorations, drawers packed with items we barely use, cabinets storing objects we forgot we owned. Most of these items didn't enter our lives intentionally. They arrived slowly, one small purchase at a time. A decorative object here, a sale item there, something bought simply to fill empty space. But every object carries a hidden cost. Not just money, but attention. It must be cleaned, moved, organized, and visually processed by your brain every day. Researchers studying environmental psychology discovered something fascinating. When our eyes constantly scan large numbers of objects, the brain's visual cortex works harder. Over time, This subtle overload leads to fatigue, even if we don't consciously notice it. That's why minimalist spaces often feel calming. It's not about owning nothing. It's about allowing important things to breathe. Instead of filling shelves with many small objects, imagine keeping fewer pieces, but choosing them with care. A ceramic bowl handmade by a local artisan, a wooden chair that ages beautifully over time, a book that changed the way you think. These objects don't compete for attention, they quietly anchor the room. And interestingly, when people start choosing fewer, more meaningful objects, another change naturally begins to happen. Their homes slowly start resembling something humans instinctively crave, something we lived alongside for thousands of years: nature. For most of human history, our environments were filled with the natural textures: wood, stone, plants, flowing water, sunlight. Our nervous systems evolved in those surroundings. But modern homes often replace those elements with plastic surfaces, artificial lighting, and perfectly smooth materials. On the surface, they look efficient and clean, yet biologically, they feel unfamiliar. Scientists studying biophilic design, the idea that humans are deeply connected to nature, have found that natural elements dramatically affect stress levels. Rooms with natural light can improve mood and sleep cycles. Indoor plants have been shown to lower anxiety and even increase concentration. Wooden textures and natural fabrics provide subtle sensory signals that the brain interprets as safe and comforting. Artificial lighting, on the other hand, can confuse our biological clock. Bright white lights late at night tell the brain it's still midday. This keeps cortisol levels high and makes it harder for the body to enter a relaxed state. A simple shift, like using warm lighting in the evening, opening curtains during the day, or adding a few plants, can quietly reset how a room feels. And once nature enters the space, something interesting happens. The room feels calmer even before you organize anything else. But there's still one invisible problem that continues draining mental energy in most homes. Something our brains process automatically, even when we don't realize it. Visual noise. Look at any surface in your home: the kitchen counter, your desk, the coffee table. What do you see? Keys, cables, remote controls, notebooks, pens, receipts, chargers, small tools, random objects. Individually, they seem harmless, but together, they form a constant stream of visual information. Your brain doesn't ignore these details. It tries to interpret them all at once. Every object becomes a tiny piece of unfinished information. This is why entering a clean hotel room often feels instantly relaxing. It's not just cleanliness, it's the absence of visual clutter. A simple solution can dramatically reduce this mental load. Create clear surfaces. Interior designers often use a simple rule. At least 70% of any surface should remain empty. The remaining space can hold carefully grouped items, perhaps in a tray, basket, or box. Closed storage also plays a huge role. Cabinets, drawers, and baskets hide complexity from view, allowing your eyes and your mind to rest. But even if your home becomes calm and organized, there's one modern habit that can still disrupt that peace every single evening. Think about how most days end. After hours of looking at phones, computers, and notifications, we go home and open another screen. Television, social media, endless scrolling. The brain never fully exits its alert mode. Real rest requires a transition, a signal that tells the nervous system the information stream has stopped. You can relax now. One powerful solution is surprisingly simple. Create a small corner in your home where technology doesn't exist. It could be a comfortable chair next to a lamp, a rug near the window, a small reading nook with a basket of books. In that space, you read, write, reflect, or simply sit quietly. Your phone stays in another room. These moments of intentional pause reset the nervous system. Instead of consuming more information, your mind begins processing the day. And when these peaceful moments happen regularly, something remarkable begins to form, not just in the room, but in your daily life. A rhythm. A truly calming home isn't created only by objects, it's created by habits. Our brains rely on cues from the environment to understand time and behavior. The simple act of opening curtains in the morning signals that the day has begun. Soft lighting in the evening signals that it's time to slow down. These small rituals gradually train the nervous system. Instead of rushing constantly, the body learns when to activate and when to rest. Over time, your home becomes more than just a place to sleep or store belongings. It becomes a system that supports your well-being. You begin noticing subtle changes. You feel calmer when entering certain rooms. Even short moments of quiet feel more restorative. When all these principles come together, clear purpose, fewer meaningful objects, natural elements, calm surfaces, screen-free spaces, and supportive routines, your home starts working with you instead of against you. And the transformation doesn't need to happen overnight. Choose one room, define its purpose, remove what doesn't belong, let sunlight enter, clear one surface, create one small place where your mind can pause. Then move to the next room, slowly, intentionally. Because a peaceful home isn't built through perfection. It's built through awareness. And once your environment begins supporting your energy instead of draining it, you'll realize something powerful. The calm you were searching for wasn't far away. It was waiting, right where you live.